So, in 1937, there was a famous essay written. It was right on the tail end of the Great Depression. It was by this economist named R.H. Coase, and it was called The Nature of the Firm. The idea was that, oh my gosh, there's actually a new way of organizing commerce, and the way that it's going to work is we're going to have a whole bunch of people who can aggregate inventory and do it in one place, and then broadcast supply very widely through all sorts of channels, and then centralize distribution and overhead so that you could actually get a lot of products to a lot of people at once. And it was sort of a revolutionary theorem. It's called Coase's theorem, and it was 1937 was when they first came up with it. Super cool thing, right? That's him. So, fast forward about 60 years, and what happened over the course of that time, among other things, there was the invention of the internet. And what happened during the invention of the internet was this notion of aggregating inventory, broadcasting supply, centralizing distribution and overhead became the internet. And so what happened was there were a couple of companies that reflected that, and eBay and Craigslist in 1995 were two of the most famous ones. And what they did was this notion of, hey, how about consumer straight to consumer? What would happen if we did that? And how can we create some sort of a platform to enable that? They did so in polar opposite ways, right? One of them was the arts and the most corporate thing you can possibly imagine. It was eBay, it's a monster. And the other one was Craigslist, and it was similarly powerful and popular and grew just as fast. It was completely anti-corporate and continues to be, despite the fact that it's for profit. At any rate, so they created this new paradigm which the internet enabled them to do, which was to get a consumer to talk directly to one consumer, and then that comes up with the idea of, well, how about the notion of consumers always talking to each other directly? And how about the notion of just taking out everything that the firm used to be, so to speak, and putting it in these things called marketplaces? Right? And these marketplaces have many varieties, but one of the monikers that's used to describe these marketplaces is something called collaborative consumption.